Hey folks, I hope so you're doing fine, and I hope so सब कुछ सही जा रहा है. I'm guessing, and yeah, I guess this is the last stream of our you can say total Hacktoberfest kind of thing that we are doing actually here. So I hope so you're doing fine. Um, till then, I guess people are joining. I can do a kind of countdown to more start off, but yeah. Cool. Let's create. I'm hoping everyone is doing fine till now, and please drop your introduction kind of thing if you wanted to do that. And I know we started the stream kind of bit late, but there's some obviously technical difficulties happening on StreamYard, so maybe we can't say on that thing. But I hope so. Everyone is doing fine. And last but not least, we are starting in 30 seconds of the stream, so I hope so you will be there. And yeah. Cool. So I guess we can start this off. I hope so. Everyone is good, great, and going great. And again, our giveaway is going on, so you can do be a joiner part of it for sure. But with me right now, the last stream, I have Rudra Arora. Basically, he's a developer relation engineer, or you can say who basically handles developer relation of Wasmer, and he's also a maintainer of Wasmer actually, and we will talk about more about it. But let me bring Rudra on the stage. That will be possible. So yeah, let's see. Cool. Hi Rudra, how are you? And sab changa si, if I will say in that Punjabi.
Nah, pra, sab changa si nahi bolte, sab changa.
Yeah.
C, you don't require the C at the end. C is just for
Cool then.
computers.
Okay. cool, great. ठीक है. So like I guess generally मेरे streams में ये होता है कि कोई भी guest आता है तो मैं उसे पूछता हूँ आपके लिए open source का definition क्या है, because in tech like tech is for everyone, like बहुत लोग non technical background से भी आते हैं तो सबके लिए open source का definition अलग अलग होता है, right? So maybe what's your take on open source, if I will say? Yeah.
Open source as in मतलब अभी तक का जो भी हमने सॉफ्टवेयर है, जो भी आपका करंट मार्केट जो चल रहा है, जो मतलब जो भी आज तक का सॉफ्टवेयर जो डिराइव हुआ है या फिर जो आगे बढ़ रहा है वो ओपन सोर्स से ही हुआ है. जो लाइनक्स ओपन सोर्स, गिट ओपन सोर्स, मतलब मोस्ट चीजें ओपन सोर्स ही थी. पर आज के टाइम पे ओपन सोर्स की वजह से मतलब सब कुछ बना है अभी. और आगे जाते हुए ओपन सोर्स के टेक में है कि बहुत कंपनीज पहले ओपन सोर्स से ही स्टार्ट करती हैं अपने प्रोडक्ट्स आजकल, ताकि उनको एक ड्राइव मिले, कम्युनिटी मिले, लोग अर्ली उनके प्रोडक्ट्स को यूज़ कर पाए, उसके साथ साथ आगे वो करें. तो मेरे ख्याल से ओपन सोर्स सॉफ्टवेयर को बनाने का, एक उसको टेस्ट करने का, उसकी ओपननेस, उसकी ट्रांसपेरेंसी एक बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है. तो मेरे लिए वो ओपन सोर्स टेक्नोलॉजी है. और ऑफ कोर्स आप बहुत अच्छे स्मार्ट इंजीनियर से मिलते हो, आपको एक कोडिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स का पता चलता है, एक सॉरी अबाउट दैट, और बहुत डाइवर्स लोगों से मिलते हो. कोई ऐसी कंट्री से हो सकता है जिसका आपने कभी शायद नाम भी नहीं सुना और वहाँ से कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हो, तो वो उसकी एक रिस्पेक्ट आती है कि सिर्फ हम ही नहीं है, बहुत लोग हैं दुनिया में. और सॉफ्टवेयर बहुत जगह जगह से बन रहा है, बहुत लोगों की कंट्रीब्यूशन से बनता है. और बहुत छोटी कंट्रीब्यूशन भी बहुत बड़ी है, और बहुत बड़ी कंट्रीब्यूशन तो है ही है बड़ी. पर आपकी एक छोटी सी मतलब डॉक्यूमेंटेशन के चेन से भी उतना ही ज़्यादा फायदा होता है जितना एक बहुत बड़े इंजीनियर के उस पे होता है. पर तो इसलिए कम्युनिटी का पार्ट बनना और एक ओपन सोर्स में कंट्रीब्यूट करना आपको एक फीलिंग देता है कि शायद आप भी उस सॉफ्टवेयर को थोड़ा सा ओन करते हो और आप उसमें एक पार्ट प्ले करते हो. और आप ऑफ कोर्स आगे जाके उसमें अगर चाहते हो तो बेटर कम्युनिटी के मेंबर बन सकते हो हायर स्टैंडर्ड पे, एक मैनेजरियल पोजीशन पे, जैसे रेस्ट में या फिर किसी भी पोजीशन पे. बट
Yep.
एज एन ओपन सोर्स एक कम्युनिटी का मतलब एक आपको बिलोंगिंगनेस देता है कि आप उसमें बिलोंग करते हो. तो मेरे ख्याल से वो है ओपन सोर्स.
Nice. नाइस, क्योंकि लाइक यहाँ पे जितने भी गेस्ट आए तो सबके अलग अलग पर्सपेक्टिव हैं. जैसे आई गेस आई नो वन गाय, उनका नाम बार्ट था बेसिकली. सो ही इज बेसिकली फ्रॉम आर्ट्स बेसिकली. सो ही बेसिकली मोर जॉनरा उसका उनका हिप हॉप कल्चर था बेसिकली. सो ही रिजेंबल्स अराउंड के, जैसे हिप हॉप में दे आर सेइंग कि रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं लाइक अपने रीजन को, अपने उसको लाइक राइट.
बिल्कुल
सो
बिल्कुल
दैट पार्ट बेसिकली लाइक काइंड ऑफ ओपन सोर्स इज मोर लाइक कि अब अगर आप पार्ट हो लोकल कम्युनिटी की या एनी कम्युनिटी के, यू आर काइंड ऑफ रिप्रेजेंटिंग दैट कम्युनिटी इन सम अदर वे.
बिल्कुल
So
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
so let's start off maybe. I guess if you want to share your screen just to start off so that people can understand actually what the project is, and obviously I can,
ठीक
I guess introduction to मैं like little bit दे दिया, but I can, you can like forward your introduction over that point also. Yeah.
ठीक. Okay, so I'm gonna converse everything in English, but अगर आपको क्वेश्चन पूछना है, आपको समझ नहीं आया कोई चीज़, आपको हिंदी में पूछना है, आपको पंजाबी में पूछना है, हरियाणवी में पूछना है, किसी में पूछना है आप पूछ सकते हो, मैं उसी लैंग्वेज में आपको आंसर कर दूंगा. बट जैसे टॉक में मतलब डाइवर्स लोग हैं, तो यहाँ पे उनके लिए हम इस प्रेजेंटेशन को इंग्लिश में कंटिन्यू करेंगे.
Cool.
ठीक है कार्तिक?
Yep. Sure. Yeah.
ओके, एंड मैं स्क्रीन शेयर करता हूँ.
Cool. Yep.
और मैं साउथ
Okay,
पार्क
let
फैन
me
भी हूँ.
add. Cool. Yeah.
तो ये प्रेजेंटेशन, सॉरी मैं आज के लिए ज़्यादा प्रिपेयर नहीं कर पाया क्योंकि हम कल पैकेजिंग कॉन में भी गए थे. बट ये प्रेजेंटेशन मतलब हमने प्रेजेंट किया था वहाँ पे, तो हम उसी के साथ कंटिन्यू कर लेंगे. इसमें एक ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन है वॉस्मर का, हम क्या करते हैं, इकोसिस्टम
Yep.
क्या है, अगर आपको एंटर करना आप कैसे कर सकते हो, तो और थोड़ी बहुत एक टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में एक ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन है. अगर आपको इंटरेस्टिंग लगे तो मैं आगे कंटिन्यू करूँगा. So, my name is Rudra, and I am master's from TCD. I love open source, of course, and I'm a maintainer at WasXorg and contribute sometimes to Wasmer. But WasXorg is like just a separate branch of Wasmer. But of course, it's under the same umbrella, and I'm a developer at Wasmer. And yeah, Wasmer makes software universally available. So what does that mean? That you get to use your software on your phone, on your laptop, on your browser, on like RISC-V machines, on your Raspberry Pi. So one file should be able to run anywhere. That's the challenge. That's the motive. Like that's the thing that drive. So WASM in general was derived from a thing so that you would be able to run any language on browser. But people thought, okay, if you could run any language on browser, so it could be much more helpful that if it was architecture independent. So you could run basically the same piece of software on a x86 machine or ARM machine or a RISC-V machine with like any operating system on top. It doesn't matter. So what is that? So how does that happen? So Wasmer makes it possible. We have like 3 things in our ecosystem right now. Plus we have the WasX ecosystem as well. So what's runtime? So let's start with the runtime first. So runtime is like, Karthikeya, if you have any questions or if you feel like you're not able to understand anything, or if users raise any question, they can ask me because I can't
Sure.
see
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
comments right now. Okay. So
Right now there's not as such question. So if there is any question arise, I will basically ping you for sure.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. If you two have any question, or if you think like people will find it difficult to understand the term I just told, so you can
Sure.
just ask me that. Okay. So
Maybe
runtime.
if right
Yeah.
now I will suggest, so maybe runtime and registry can be a major question for like if anyone maybe see the stream maybe afterwards maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So runtime is basically, you can imagine like, let's say that you write a Fibonacci number in Node.js and main.js file. You write a Fibonacci function and you try to give it like a value from system arguments. So let's say you give it like 5, it returns like output like 10 or something. Okay, so you have the answer, but you want to do that now in Wasm, right? So for JavaScript files, you have Node.js. So people wanted, okay, we need something to run our Wasm files now. So you compile your function to Wasm, but it's not usable until you can run it, right? So you can run that same thing. So like you have you have like Node.js. So you have the same thing for Wasm. You have Wasmer. For JavaScript, it's Node.js. For Wasm files, it's Wasmer. So our runtime is called Wasmer, and we started with that. And we actually had the idea of, okay, wouldn't it be cool if we had all the, so let's say that you make a Fibonacci sequence Fibonacci calculator, and I create like a library to have like satellite projections or something like that. So you have all your libraries somewhere, right? You don't want to write everything again and again and again, right? So for publishing all of that, we used the registry. So our Wasmer registry holds like a lot of packages, almost 2,000 packages right now, so that you can use currently, and it's available. You can just do Wasmer run, okay, Rudra / Fibonacci, and it will just run. And can I show a demo, Karthike?
Sure, if you want, that will be better. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we have Wasmer run.
Can you little bit zoom it if possible, terminal
Yeah.
maybe?
Sure. Is it
Yeah, it's
okay?
perfectly fine. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's our CEO. And if you run Cowsay, so the thing that it's told, like, it's looking for, you know, uh, it's looking for something. So it's looking for on npm. So like npm, we started a thing called WAPM, WebAssembly Package Manager. So you can also do like Wasmer install and all that stuff. So we have Wasmer run. So Wasmer run, what we'll do is, okay, it will publish a package. So what you can do is you can publish your own Fibonacci number calculation package online, and you can just run it by giving an argument. I said hello. You can also give like Wasmer run, yeah, same thing with Karthike, and it will just say Karthike. It's just like a sample program right now, but you can have like lots of cool stuff like web servers and everything. From web servers, you can have TenTV, you can have vector search, you can have like any logical program without, databases right now can be published to the registry. And we have like static web servers, we have TenTV, we have Leptos, we have lots of web servers basically, and logical programs. And you also have like MD book. You can basically convert like HTML files to MD files or vice versa. So we started with the runtime, we had the registry, but we thought, okay, what if we also have something so that people can publish these packages and maybe want to use it with a file system. So let's say that you have a web server that's compiled to WebAssembly. So it's basically a logical tool, but if you were also able to give it like a public folder, you can just serve it, right? You can just serve the images and like static files right out of the box. So that's what we did, and we made the edge, and it's like a fully compatible, infinitely scalable edge compute on the basis of WebAssembly. And for making everything possible, we have POSIX. So that's a little bit more complicated. Do you want me to go into it, Karthike? Or do you feel like...
Like there is one question actually. They are saying, actually, have you created your WebAssembly architecture by your own, or it's like taking a reference from something?
No. WebAssembly is standardized by the browsers, by W3C probably, yes. And the WASI specification is standardized by the Bytecode Alliance. So we follow that. No one can follow like, okay, this is my WASI, this is my WASM thing, I would like to do that. But the thing
Got
about
it.
WASM is that WebAssembly is stable. WebAssembly system interface, it's not stable. So WebAssembly system interface is not version 1.0, and WebAssembly system interface actually tried to go with the POSIX thing and then with the component model, and now it's at the component model. And so what they did was they have a thing that's basically unusable for us right now, and that's
Yep.
why we added a lot of system interface calls on top of it to achieve like basic POSIX functionality. So let's say that have you seen that movie Wanted? Where like the person catches the bad guy and he keeps him in a ship,
Yep.
and he has a phone where he can't receive
Yep.
like he can't
Yep.
make like outgoing calls. He just has like
Yep.
incoming calls.
Yep.
So they made a phone basically that has like incoming calls. So the current standard WASI model can't make calls outside. So you have a phone, you can't make calls outside. So it's basically like
Yep.
unusable phone. I mean, you can
Yep.
say, okay, my phone is open. Anybody who wants to call me can call me, but I can't call anyone. So that's the thing. Like basically, it developed and it's basically unusable for us. So that's why we transitioned to make an extended version of WASI. So we have all the API calls listed out on our website, wasix.org, and go there, compare, and our solution is totally compatible with WASI programs. There's like no breakage, but we add like additional stuff on top of it. So we adhere to the
Got
standard
it.
plus add like, we have X plus one. So that's basically it's like superset of WASI.
So I guess there is someone is asking like, so Wazi at the end of the day just you can say middleman between we and Wasm, like if we are interacting around it, right?
No. So WASM is a thing that you. Okay, so there are two architectures. WASM is a thing that can only interact with browsers. You can't run WASM on your system because your computer doesn't know like what to do with it, and it can't make like host calls and everything because the browser provides everything to the WASM file because it's protected, right? Your WASM file is like super protected from the outside. WASM file can't do anything without the permission of the browser. So to imitate that on the system, we have WebAssembly system interface. So WebAssembly plus system interface means system interface calls. Like let's say I want to do like sock open. I want to open a raw socket. So Wasmer will give that command, have that permission to have your WebAssembly system interface, like give it a function. Okay, here's the functionality. You can do sock open now. It can do sock open. So that's WebAssembly system interface. WebAssembly is it's just like a byte format that can be used, but it's primarily on the web. And WebAssembly system
Got it.
interface modules are on uh, are on the PCs, like native machines. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hope so. You got that point. Yeah, great. Yeah, yeah. You can
And
continue. Yeah.
does anybody have like any more questions right now?
Right now there is no more question as of now. Yeah, there's no more question. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we have the most popular Wasm runtime with more than 16K stars, of course. Our runtime is also pluggable. What does pluggable means? Pluggable means that okay, so there are like lots of runtimes in the market, but we made sure that if you want to test, if you want to like achieve the best functionality with the best speed, so let's say that you are on the server right now and you give it like a really big file, like you have a really big C++ project, really clunky code and everything. You're writing like super bad code, but the compiler is smart. So do you know about LLVM, Karthikeya?
I guess I heard about it. I guess it's related to Clang, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong.
So LLVM is low level virtual machine. So you have like three types of compilers in in Wasmer right now. So you have like AOT compiler, like single pass. So what it'll do
Yep.
is just go over the file one by one, and it'll just output like file in like 60 milliseconds, 80 milliseconds, super fast.
Yep.
And the other thing is called the other thing is called crane lift. So it has like some optimizations to it, so you can say like 60 or 70% optimized, but at the end you have like LLVM is like superb in optimization. It will compile your code to like best USMD instructions, like the best standards possible right now. And that's the thing, we have like three compilers. You can choose any one you want for your use case. So let's say that you want to compile your files really fast, so you can use a single pass. But on the behind of the scenes, while the person is interacting, you can actually compile the program to using crane lift or LLVM to like your most suitable output desired file. And yeah, our runtime is also called Wasmer. Our company is also called Wasmer. Sometimes people
Yep.
get confused. Okay, so the registry, yeah, we have the leading Wasm registry. We are serving packages like Python and FFmpeg and SpiderMonkey, Ruby, SQLite, PHP. You can use all of these. So you have your PHP compiler, the PHP interpreter written in C, that can be compiled to Wasm, and that can be run inside of that module can run inside Wasmer. So Wasmer running a PHP interpreter, running PHP. Yeah, I mean it's box inside a box sometimes, but yeah. And fun fact, yeah, it uses Wasmer container under the hood. So Wasmer container is basically like a very minuscule version of Docker, but that's what you need sometimes because it's a trade-off between using a F1 car versus a truck. So I actually made some analogies later. Yeah, our Edge is not in beta right now. Edge is generally available if you want to host your websites, deploy server functions, do anything on the Edge on Wasmer Edge, you can do it. It supports 4 languages. It supports C++, Rust, Python, and JavaScript.
Actually, there is one question from someone. Is it free or like we have to pay
Totally
something
free.
to
Totally
you?
free for 1 year, and even more than that. If we receive more VC money, it's free forever. But yeah, it's totally free right now. We would love to have your opinion. You can also join our Discord. We have a link at the end,
Yeah.
and it's totally
Yeah.
free. You can deploy as many apps you want. It's super quick, and the Edge Cloud is geolocated into 11 locations as per I'm aware right now. So that's really good. And wait, let me just check questions. Oh, we have 3 comments. Yeah, that's the link. Okay, so uh okay, yeah. So now you know. We live and breathe WebAssembly. Of course. And yeah, we did present a new container format. And first, the thing was that you don't need to run until you have a relay in your hand. That's a code by me, of course. It means that जब तक आपके हाथ में डंडा नहीं है तब तक आप रेस में भागते नहीं हो. But and that's the thing. If you don't have any problems, you
Yep.
won't make solutions. Problems with OCA containers and package distribution and edge computing, you can't. So the problems with OCA containers mean problems with the really big containers like Docker containers. It requires unpacking. It requires indexing of file system, critical for random file access. So let's say that you have just a website, your karthike.com, and you have the home page and about page. So the computer or the machine has to unpack the whole Docker container first to know, okay, where is index HTML, where is about HTML, and all that stuff. In really basic terms, it's platform dependent. The execution environment is defined per container, so you can have ARM containers, x86 containers. So it's the same thing. So the problem arises when you try to run ARM x86 containers on an ARM computer. That's where the problems are. And the thing basically is that a really big engine actually belongs in a truck, and a really small engine belongs in a car. I mean, performant engine belongs in a car. But if you try to switch them, one would become really slow and the other would be totally unusable, of course. And that makes packages sad, of course. And we have Wasmer containers. So environment agnostic, very small binary size, super fast file access, and they're totally verifiable. Yeah, Wasmer containers is also WebAssembly, but it has a binary layer and a data layer. So data layer means that you can keep all your files somewhere. You have your public folder with about HTML, your static SVGs, and your favicon ICO, and you also need something to get that file and serve it online, like a web server. So you have the binary layer in the form of a web server, and the data layer means the files that because you both need together, and then you ship it, and you ship it towards the edge, or you can use it on any platform that you want. And it's runtime agnostic. It runs, you can package it once and it runs anywhere, and it's totally performative, irrespective of the architecture, because Wasmer guarantees the performance there. And yeah, these are some of the container components. You can have volumes. Volumes means you can have multiple folders inside of it. You can run WebAssembly, you can run TensorFlow, you can run like anything. And there's like a manifest file and like a verification file. Like, okay, this is the container that I pushed, and this is not some random container or some malicious container that somebody sent me. Like, we don't want any Trojan horses, do we? Right? Okay, so these are just like the specifications of it. I'll not go into like much detail, but if you want to see like a manifest, I'll link to the slides, and there are like lots of advantages for this. So in Docker, as you know, you would have to install Ubuntu, then you install Python, then you install Django, and then you give it like commands. Okay, whenever you start,
Yeah.
just run this Django server. But we can give commands. Okay, whenever you start, just start this Python -m pip, and there's a Django file, and done. And as Python is compiled to Wasm, so it can basically start like instantaneously. I'll just show you the benchmarks right here. And you can also send this Docker container over, like our container over HTTP server. We have random file access in O1 time. You can case share dependencies. So let's say that you have a project in Node.js backend and you have a front end in React. So you can basically share dependencies if there are dependencies that can be shared between both of them. And we can precompile the artifacts. Of course, you can precompile the stuff to be super fast as it starts. And it's used like you have the container and or package, serve it over to the registry, so you can use it using the runtime. So the thing I showed you right now is also contained in a webc package, like Wasmer run Sirasakbari Kause, the demo I showed you, and it can also be run on the edge, of course. And it runs anywhere on Mac OS, on Linux, on Windows, on RISC-V, in the browser. You can try to run like this in the browser if you want. I mean, it's a really cool demo, depending on like if we not. Yeah. Okay. Yes. You can actually try this demo right now if you want. Like just Wasmer run Wasmer/Python and give you like a Python container. Maybe we updated it. Okay. It runs. We're actually updating this website right now. And Wasmer on Python, probably. No. Or maybe try like a simpler demo. Wasmer run. Yep, it runs. We are updating some of the packages right now on the backend, and it's adhered to like a new standard because we have to go towards the open source path, and we have to like
Yep.
change few things so that none of the internals are in there and stuff like that. So it sometimes breaks, but yeah, some of the simpler packages still work, and Python would work too if you try to run it here. Yes. Yeah. So I have like Python running inside of Wasmer. So it heads it as WASX compatibility. And I can
Yep.
try to run it like array equals 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Array.sort array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, it's the exact same thing, but just exiting. There's one trick. Sys.exit. And yep.
So like we didn't have to install if we didn't have to
You
install
don't have to
Python to use it.
install anything. You don't have to install anything. You can run even PHP. You can run anything. Like you can run FFmpeg. And the same package right now can be
Yep.
used across multiple ecosystems. So we also have packages that can be compiled to Wasm. And you would say,
Yep.
why can't I use my package in my JavaScript right now? Because it also supports Wasm. So basically you
Yep.
can if you want to. And this is a really good sorting algorithm by Google called crumb sort. And so what this does is like this is basically written in Rust. It's really high performant. And if you just look at this, yeah, you have your main file. I'll just open this main file real quick to show you guys. like what's inside. Oh no, I'll just open in code. And as you guys can see, like it's just okay, so this number comes from bindings from sort wasm,
Got
and
it.
so you have like two really big lists. So this is like this basically copying inside of it, so it doesn't matter. So it's a really big uint array. It's of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 random numbers. I just plot like random numbers inside of it. So here if you're familiar with like JavaScript, you see that these are like doing like basic sorting using A, B, number A minus number B, and that's the first one is doing. And next one is like sorting using crumb sort. So which one do you guess is like faster?
Obviously, we can say maybe crumb sort because, like, as you already stated around it. But the thing
Yeah.
is, if it's taking so much memory, then how it kind of
Sorry?
like like my take is here, like if it takes so much memory, like we consider a lot of memory that we are passing on it,
Yeah.
and when it's compiling, so yeah, yeah,
No,
go
no,
ahead,
no,
go ahead. I
no.
just want
It's
to
it's like a pre-compiled wasm file. So if I go to my node modules and my crumb
yeah,
sort, so I have my binary file just right here. It's like a super calculator. You just put numbers in, it just crunches number out. It's like NX. It of course
got it.
exports like numbers. So that's why wasm is fast because it's
So
like totally
basically,
compiled.
so basically you are saying, maybe suppose if I do a very basic thing like a plus b, right? Suppose a
Yeah,
plus b takes a lot of time. I'm just
yeah,
imagination point.
yeah,
And so what we are doing, we are basically converting them into .wasm file, which kind of a binary file, which is basically speed up the
yeah.
process
Super
because
fast.
it
Yeah,
is, yeah. Yep. And after that, when we put anything to, but there is one question that I'm having. Like I
okay.
actually attended some of the meetups in India, like Fermion Tech, who is a basically WASM based server.
Yeah, yeah,
Basically, they
yeah.
have a concept same on serverless. They're saying it is kind of a sandbox, like because also WASM was provide the security part, right? You can't change it anything. So
Yeah,
if
yeah. So the
it
thing
is
is
kind of
that
a, yeah,
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 I
sure.
I can't go into like this wasm file. So let's say I try to open this wasm file, so I can't change anything now. If I change anything, this wasm file is
So
disrupted.
basically, here this
Yeah,
WASM file treating like an operator where I'm putting it and I'm getting the output, right?
yeah,
Internal thing is just the constant, basically.
yeah. Internal thing is like totally constant, and you also have like these functions that are exported right out of it. So all these functions are like exported here. So bindings, crumb
Got it.
sort, and this crumb sort is a class that exports like this function crumb sort U8. U8 is basically unsigned integer of 8-bit address. It's of
Got it.
16-bit address, 64-bit address. So I'm going to use like the biggest one, 64-bit address, and try to sort it just like node with node main.js. And okay,
Maybe you can use bun.
bun. Yeah, we can use bun, of course.
By the way, what's your take on bun actually?
Uh, if it compiles to Zig and they compile to Wazix, we are very
Yeah.
happy with Bun. No, but no, Bun is good. Bun is really
Yeah.
like pushing the ecosystem forwards. They did that.
Yep.
And that's what I really
True.
like. Like there's a lot of scattering around like Node.js, but their take on like we are so much better than Node.js, that's entirely not true if you just go into like base metrics of how they're doing it and just compare like the total benchmarks. It's not
Yep.
that great like okay we are like 10 times faster. It's not like that. Maybe 10%, 20%, 30%, not even
Yep.
like 30%, maybe 5-10%. That's okay. But the thing is that they consolidated the ecosystem. So you want to install something, use Bun. You want to run something, use Bun. You want to do JS workers, use Bun. You want to optimize, use Bun. You want to test, use Bun. So that's the thing. Ecosystem. You have
Got it.
like Apple ecosystem. You just
Yeah.
open your AirPods, it connects right away. You go to your your keys, your CarPlay. the ecosystem actually defines like, but yeah, I mean they're consolidating a good ecosystem. It's like totally scattered right now. Yeah, that's my take on it. Like bun's good, bun's okay.
Cool.
Okay, so
Great.
if I try to run this file, so as you see, JS is taking like 746 milliseconds to sort the same array that crumb sort can do in 35. If I try to add like one more zero, JS is like totally uncomputable sometimes. That's the thing, like uh, softwares like Figma or docs
Yep.
.google.com or computer games. If you go to like super hot, that's a game, and try it. Yeah, I mean you can just see like it's like a
Yep.
33x difference, so 33,000% maybe 33.
Yep.
Yeah, 3,300% maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, you can do a lot of number crunching because that's already compiled. The compiler already knows what to do, what to put in, what to get out, how will it be computed. You can use SIMD instructions. Everything's possible. So yeah, that's a really big advantage of this. But this is still like wasm.
Yep.
Wazix and Wuzzy go into like a different ball game because they can open network sockets, they can talk to your computer, they can talk to the
Yep.
network, and they can do DNS and all that stuff. And it runs anywhere. And as presented you some kind of demo there. And I mean, the thing I was showing you right now was like this. Like if I go to my network tab, and if you see on the right, you'll see that you know a lot of stuff that I pulled in right now
Yep.
depends actually on uh, like headers, like payload, headers, response is a webc, like a Wasmer container. We just call it webc on the inside, but yeah, it's like a webc, and it also has like headers and everything. So yes, just a second, maybe I can.
Nice.
Yeah, it's WebC on the inside. It's totally, I'm sure about that. Yeah, you have WebC and you have like WASI
Yep.
snapshot preview one is WebAssembly system interface, and we also have our layer on top of it. So you have like WebAssembly snapshot one preview one. You have then WASIX. So get current working directory or CHDIR. So that's not available in WASI. So I can basically do PWD or CD. That's not available in Mosaic. So CD bin. Yeah, you have all these commands available. You can do tree sort. You can do cat. Hello. Uh, yeah, that's it. And these are like the differences between the current approach and our Wasmer approach and versus Docker. So this is the thing. The static files are the files, let's say, of your website. And this blue
Yep.
part is just the server. Like this is the server. This red part is your part. Karthike.com has,
Yeah.
videos or images or anything. That's the red part. If we package everything, we just have like 100 KBs of our stuff. And everything else is handled by Wasmer automatically. And that will run by our guarantee on any
Yep.
place you want.
That's totally awesome. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
literally.
And SWS, of course, you have like good startup times. And when comparing the same Python image that I showed you right now, if you try to do it in
Yep.
like, if you try to do it in like Docker, it's almost 800 megabytes. We have like 51 times lower than that. If you compare it to Docker Slim, we have 7 times lower. If you compare it to Docker Alpine, we have like 4.5 times lower. These were the technologies that were given to considerations and will soon be open source. And our packages are, of course, happy. That's our job to make
Yep.
them happy. And yeah, if you want, you can just join our Discord or follow us
Cool.
on
Great.
Twitter or go to our website, try Wasmer. WebAssembly awaits for you because it's the technology of tomorrow.
Yep.
And if you're not able to directly interact with it on your personal level, that you won't be coding
Yep.
assembly on your day job, right? But the thing is that
Yep.
just keep in mind that it's a technology that can use as a back end or as a side thing. You know, you're
Got it.
doing some heavy computation. You want some extra. You want something like something extra. Everything is possible in JavaScript. You don't have to like rely on total WASM based ecosystems.
Yep.
Like, you know, C sharp is actually introducing in Blazor, so you can write C sharp. You can compile everything to that. But if you want to do just like, okay, I want to learn WebAssembly, that's why I'm going to learn C sharp. I'm going to compile to Blazor. That's not a good approach because it's using WASM on the back end. Its primary objective and function is to aid developers doing C sharp. They can, you know, be more interactive with it. Yeah. So WASM is
Cool.
basically your helper tool on the side that will help you achieve more computation, more power, and smaller binary sizes, of course. And it runs anywhere, so that's the promise. Like portability, you can run it on Raspberry Pi. I mean, maybe soon Arduino stuff, or yeah, RISC-V is totally available right now too. And thank you very much. And if you have any questions, I would be
Yep.
happy to answer them. Or if you want to see more demos, you can ask for that too.
Cool. I guess there's actually asking someone. I guess it is in the LinkedIn. I am guessing question. So actually, he's saying, "Hi Rudra, it's awesome demo. I really love it. But I am a student, and I am right now in my second year of college. So will this technologies be for me? Or because it's like seems like very hard for me right now. So yeah,
I mean, that actually depends on what you want to do because the ecosystem right now is not, I would say, targeting super early budding developers. It's more targeting towards libraries, and it's more targeting towards people who just want to deploy their stuff, like, you know, really big blockchains or really big,
got it.
you know, you want smaller and faster functionality in smaller binary sizes. So a lot of WebAssembly system interface actually evolved in blockchain technology. Or let's say that you want to do, let's say there is a really big video editor and
Yep.
you want to port that on. Do you know like Photoshop is now totally ported on the browser? You can
Online
use,
video. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And let's say that if you want to do like stuff like, if you just go to like Google Earth, I'll just show you right now and share my screen.
So let me get that.
And
Yep. Cool.
yeah, if you go to Google Earth right now and explore, and I'll just, yeah, show you one thing on the left. Oh, it's not entering the versions here. Data attribution. No. About Google Earth. Yeah, so they actually have like WASM in Google Earth. So their latest version is actually like dependent on WebAssembly. So you know, you need like lots and lots of power to make
Yep.
something like Google Earth, right? Because it requires you, you know, to do multiple calculations, lots of geographical stuff, lots of pointers and everything.
Yep.
So WebAssembly is really helpful if you have like tons of computation, mathematical operations, mathematical stuff, music production, video editing, all like that. Yeah, that would be really helpful
Uh,
just in that case.
cool. There's one
But
question from
yeah,
again from LinkedIn. I guess there is a guy called. Yeah. Hi Rudra. Actually, if this is for big projects, and suppose if I want to try WebAssembly in my small project just to understand how it works.
yes,
So
yes.
how it like how we can do it like or is it like directly go to WebAssembly GitHub and directly work
No, no,
from
no,
it
no,
or
no.
like
Okay, so what you can do is actually there's a thing called wasm bindgen, or you can write. Okay, so for uh, okay, so you can do two things. If you want to try, if you know TypeScript and you want to try the WebAssembly thing right now, what you can do is basically just go to assembly script website and just write like simple Python or just simple function and just try to compile that, and that would be it. It's that's basically it. That would give you like function, you can try to like calculate the sorting thing or anything like that. So you can basically, can I share my screen? Yeah, I think I might be
Sure,
able
sure, sure.
to. Yeah, entire screen. Okay, and what
Let
I'll
me
do
add this.
is,
Yep.
so you can go to assembly script website, just try to do it, and you can basically make this file and try to accommodate that into your, like this. You can
Yep.
instantiate and compile and try to use that in your local website and try to see, okay, how does it compile? Is it better? Is it not better? And you'll see the difference. And if you want to go into like WebAssembly system interface, that is also cool. And I can just show you. Uh, and I'll just do like a really simple project for you. Hello user. Hello user. And I can do that. Okay. And so it's taking like hello world. So what I'll do is just I'll do cargo wasix build. So this is what our builder is for our WebAssembly system interface. So that was a thing that you require a website or a web interface or like something like Node to interact, because you have to instantiate and compile. But using this, everything is like compiled just to direct wasm, like hello user.wasm. So if I do cargo run, that basically prints like hello world, right? Everybody gets it, right? Like just print hello world
Yep.
in Rust.
Yep.
So if I just go to like cargo wasix run, it will just try to run this wasm file. So I can just show you, I go to target, or yeah, wait a second. I go to target, I go to wasm32 wasmer wasm, I go to debug, and I just do wasmer run hello user.wasm, and it will just do the same thing. So this wasm file is being run by Wasmer right now, but in browser, your Chrome will actually execute that file. So you can basically start with like really basic stuff like this, like just, get maybe,
Got it.
get a system name or something, name as an argument. Yeah. Copilot's helpful. Always get Copilot.
Really.
Yeah. I'm not a good coder.
Productivity on
Yeah.
top level.
Yeah, I'm not a good coder, guys. I just use Copilot well these days. And you can just basically do, it would require you to give like Karthike and hello
Yep.
Karthike. And that was the same thing that was used in Cowsay. So if I make like a really good ASCII cow right here, and I'm not good at that, so I can basically do the same thing like Wasmer run akbari / Cowsay and Karthike. So that's basically how we did the demo. So you just basically print in the
Yep.
cow and just here is the argument, the name argument. And that's basically it. And this is everything is compiled to WebAssembly. So what's the difference? What's the thing that, so what's the difference between a cargo run or like running on your normal binary versus running in Wasmer? So the Wasmer binary, if I try to give it to you and you have a Windows computer, it will run the same. I don't have to change anything. But if I try to give you this file, like in my debug file, this hello user right
Yep.
here, it won't run on your computer because your computer might be x86 or might be of Windows or might be of any other, might have like different architecture on the inside, right?
Yep. Cool. I guess they got that. And there's one question from Rahul. Rahul is saying, actually, I'm a student right now, and is it possible like I can contribute to Vesic X or like a Wasmer in open source? Like,
Yeah, sure. We are totally open source, and you can just go to our website. I made that website. So, yeah, it's a good website, and you can just ready get started with our docs. But I would like to say that it's a little bit complicated because I would recommend you that you don't get just started first as a project with WASX. We always love contributions on our documentation or on other stuff, but interacting with the WASX ecosystem as a really student or a beginner would not be the best idea because it's a really, really complicated system right now. We're trying to simplify it. Like you don't need to use Wasmer inside of it. You can just do Cargo WASX run, but there are a lot of things pending there. And um, I'll just say like there are a lot more easier projects around WebAssembly which you can get started first with, or Rust projects, and then maybe try to enter WASX because it requires a pre-mature knowledge of WASM ecosystem plus the WAS ecosystem plus the Rust ecosystem and operating system knowledge, and then everything like gets combined together, and then you basically can run WASX or try to contribute to WASX because the API is also like heavily changing right now, and be like, okay, I'll learn 6 months. I'll learn this stuff for 6 months, and after 6 months, oh no, it's already changed. So that's why I would say like it's not a really beginner friendly project. But if you are a really good operating system developer, or if you are into this stuff, Rust and everything, and you understand everything, basically contribute to it. We are really happy to have and accept any contributions.
Cool, great. I hope so, folks. Maybe getting into that, maybe if you can start with Rust to understand better, because like maximum apps are in the Rust basically,
Yeah,
and obviously to understanding the OS level part, how it totally works from different one layer to another layer, how it process part. That's also important in. I hope so you get that. Otherwise, documentation is the best way if you feel like you can contribute in a
yeah,
maybe a low code or a no code contribution. That is one of the best way you can start off. And
yeah,
yeah, I
and
guess there is no. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I was saying like you know, uh, Rust was actually made by Mozilla folks, right? And they were
yeah,
the ones who actually started with the WebAssembly ecosystem. So they thought, okay, why not Rust plus WASM? So that's why it evolved to the best of Rust. So Rust is like the primary language that people use these days for
yeah,
WebAssembly. And but I would just say like WebAssembly is not a primary technology that you would write with your bare hands. Okay, today's a good day, let me just write assembly today. It's basically like that with just like a better format. You won't do
yeah.
that. You would just use it as a side. So the only thing to keep in mind is, okay, there's something that I can use if I get into problems with like slower compilation or slower speeds. Yeah, that's basically it.
Cool. I hope so. There's no more question, and I hope so. Let me check just one more time. I guess there's nothing from YouTube side, but let me check in LinkedIn side.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, cool. I guess that's it, I guess. But thanks Rudra for joining the stream and sharing a lot of, by the way, I really learned throughout the process also. So thanks for that. Thanks. Like it's like a
Oh,
learning for me also side on
thank
side
you,
basis.
Kartikeya. Thank you very much for having me. And it's a really good weekend. I hope you enjoy your weekend too. And
Sure. Like for my weekend, it's like I not fix my weekend. It's like 7 day work kind of thing for me right now. It's going like
oh,
that. But
should live the
but
life,
it's
man. Gotta keep the
I'm
head
living
out.
my life by doing streams maybe, or maybe
Oh,
doing side
okay.
work
Yeah.
around
I mean, yeah, of
that.
course. No, nice, nice. I mean,
Cool.
that's cool.
Is there any way like anyone can approach you if they needs any resources kind of thing, or like
Yeah, sure. You can just join our Discord by going to wasix.org or wasmerio. We have the
yeah, by
website
the
right
way,
there.
yeah, I actually dropped the Discord link of Wasmer like in the description. You can go there and you can join it if you want. And apart from that, people is saying like, is there any way you I can they can connect you from Twitter or LinkedIn maybe?
Yes, maybe I can. Yeah, sure. I mean, you can connect me on LinkedIn on. I'll just paste in my LinkedIn
Yeah,
link
in the
if you want to connect.
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
can you share that thing in private chat? I can drop that in the comment section. Yeah.
Sure, sure, Karthik. Sure. And I'll just drop it in private chat. Here you go. And if
Sure.
I mean, Twitter, like personally, I don't use that much of Twitter. I just do like the company stuff there, and you can reach us anywhere. I mean, you can reach me personally. You can reach me personally if you want.
Cool, great. Thanks Rudra for joining, and maybe sometimes in India, maybe you can do some meetups with Vesma. Maybe we
Oh,
will love
sure,
to.
sure. Yeah, sure, man. You live? Where do you live?
So right now I am in Surat, but there is a chance like maybe I can go back to Bangalore. Maybe there can be a possibility.
हाँ,
So yeah,
बिल्कुल भाई, बिल्कुल कार्तिक है। जब भी आते
done.
हैं फोन करेंगे, मिलेंगे, बिल्कुल जरूर।
Pakka, pakka, done, done, done. In person तो done ही है. Like that's the
बिल्कुल।
major take I'm trying to do with every guest जो भी आ रहे हैं. Like I guess
हाँ,
KubeCon I guess India में होने वाला है. So maybe
हाँ,
we are seeing like people are joining from different things. But yeah,
बिल्कुल।
um, cool. And again, Discord का link है guys. So जाओ, join करो. If you have any problem, maybe reach out to Rudra or maybe the team of
बिल्कुल, अगर
Wasmer basically.
आप भी
Yeah.
अपनी प्रोडक्ट उसमें या फिर कहीं पे भी अगर वॉज़म को यूज़ करना चाहते हो, आपको मतलब कंसल्ट करना है या फिर आपको समझना है कि मैं उसको कैसे यूज़ कर सकता हूँ, या फिर आपकी कोई एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम अभी एग्जिस्ट करती है परफॉर्मेंस के रिगार्डिंग, तभी आप वॉज़म को अप्रोच करो। और अगर आपको उसमें कोई दिक्कत आ रही है तो बिल्कुल आप कभी भी आके हमें अप्रोच कर सकते हैं, हम आपकी बिल्कुल हेल्प करेंगे।
Sure, great. Let me check it there. Yeah, I guess there is nothing much more from the side. And yeah, also folks, हम लोग एक गिव अवे चला रहे हैं जो तुम लोग को पता ही है, राइट? कोई भी स्ट्रीम है, इफ यू कैन राइट अ ब्लॉग ऑन इट, मे बी लाइक अगर इस वाले स्ट्रीम पे इफ यू कैन राइट अ ब्लॉग ऑन इट, tag our community, tag Rudra and Vesemir on the side basis, and we will see if their content is good, and we will give you a giveaway on the thing is one GitHub tea for you all, like those who are contributing. Like obviously technical documentation is also one of the, or writing a blogging is also one of the contribution to the community, so it also always help on that manner. And yeah, there is one more question. Can you share your slides?
Oh, sure, sure. I'll just email the slides to Mr.
Sure.
Karthikeyan, of course.
Sure, and I will drop. I will also add that. Maybe I will upload that thing on the drive and add the link in the description. Also, I will send in the community also for those who are in the part of our community, so they can see that. Yeah, good, great. Sure. I guess we are in the end of the stream, and thanks Rudra. And it's an awesome talk to you. Had some awesome talk, and we will see you soon again. Maybe in person in India. Maybe sooner. Maybe let's see.
Yeah, sure, कार्तिक है, बिल्कुल ज़रूर कभी मिलेंगे। और तब तक के लिए बिल्कुल। ओके,
Cool.
थैंक यू।
Okay, then thanks folks, and thanks Rudra for joining. Yeah, अभी मैं maybe backstage डाल देता हूँ Rudra को so that they can join us. And folks, this is the last day of our Hacktober week stream session. Maybe you will not see for me for around 1 month now because I am very stream कर करके भाई तुम्हारा थक गया basically. So we'll see you soon on the next Hacktober week maybe, or maybe upcoming. We are also working on our hackathon actually. So we will catch up you soon over there also. So see you soon, and tata, bye bye.